Let's talk about the samurai. These were the warriors of Japan, known for their strength and fighting skills. They served powerful lords called daimyo. The samurai had a strict code of honor called Bushido. For centuries, they played a huge role in shaping Japan's history and culture. But the samurai were more than just fighters. They were also expected to be educated and cultured. They studied things like poetry, calligraphy, and the tea ceremony. The samurai valued loyalty, discipline, and respect above all else. They were highly respected in Japanese society and enjoyed many privileges. Their impact on Japan's history is undeniable. Before we dive into the samurai world, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Bushido, meaning the way of the warrior, was the code of the samurai. This code stressed honor, loyalty, and putting others before yourself. It shaped their lives both on and off the battlefield. One important part of Bushido was loyalty to one's lord. Samurai were expected to obey their lord's commands without question, and were ready to die for them. Another key principle was honor. Samurai valued their reputation above all else and would rather die than live in disgrace. They were expected to be truthful, brave, and always keep their word. Bushido also emphasized being a master of martial arts. Samurai trained hard in swordsmanship, archery, and hand-to-hand combat. They believed a true warrior should be ready to face any enemy. Kirisute Gomen was a controversial practice in samurai society. It gave samurai the right to kill a commoner if they believed they had been disrespected. This practice was often abused, as the definition of disrespect was pretty loose. For example, a samurai could kill a commoner for bumping into them on the street or even just arguing with them. This made commoners very afraid. However, there were some rules to this practice. The samurai had to kill the commoner right then and there, and they needed a witness to confirm the disrespect. Despite these rules, Kirisute Gomen remained a controversial and often abused practice. It showed the power and privilege that the samurai held in Japanese society and highlighted the strict social hierarchy of that time. Ronin were samurai without a master. They had either lost their lord or chosen to leave their service. Ronin were often seen as outcasts and wanderers, facing a tough life without the support of a lord. Some ronin became mercenaries, hiring out their skills to the highest bidder. They might work as bodyguards, enforcers, or even assassins. Others wandered the countryside looking for work or a new purpose in life. Despite their difficult circumstances, ronin still followed the Bushido code. They valued honor and loyalty, even without a lord to serve. Some ronin became folk heroes, admired for their skill and their unwavering commitment to their principles. The life of a ronin was often dangerous and uncertain. They represent the enduring spirit of the samurai, even when facing hardship. Section 5. Testing the blade. Tameshigiri was an important practice for samurai. It meant testing the sharpness and effectiveness of their swords. This practice wasn't just about the sword, it was also about the samurai's skill and precision. Samurai used different materials for tameshigiri, like rolled-up straw mats, bamboo, and even, sadly, corpses. The goal was to make a clean, swift cut, showing off the sword's quality and the samurai's ability. In some cases, condemned criminals were used for tameshigiri. This practice was highly controversial and considered brutal by many. The severity of the cuts on the criminals often depended on their crimes. Today, tameshigiri is still practiced as a martial art. However, it's more about showing skill and precision than testing the sharpness of the sword. Modern practitioners use specially designed targets that mimic the density of human flesh. Section 6. The Crazy Ones. Kabukimono were groups of flashy and often violent ex-samurai. They appeared during Japan's Sengoku period, a time of great social unrest and change. You could easily spot them by their eccentric clothing, bright colors, mismatched patterns, and unusual hairstyles. They also carried really long swords and often challenged people to duels for silly reasons. Kabukimono were known for their rebellious behavior. They rejected traditional samurai norms and did things that were considered taboo, like gambling, drinking, and fighting in public. Their behavior was seen as a challenge to the social order. While some people saw them as romantic figures, most considered them a nuisance and a threat to public safety. Section 7. A new era begins. The Meiji Restoration in 1868 was a turning point in Japanese history. It also marked the beginning of the end for the samurai class. The Meiji government wanted to modernize Japan and catch up with the West. This meant adopting Western technology, military practices, and social structures. One of the biggest changes was the abolishment of the feudal system, which had been in place for centuries and was the basis of samurai power. The samurai lost their traditional privileges. Their stipends were converted into government bonds, which quickly lost their value. This caused financial hardship for many samurai families. On top of that, the government established a conscripted army based on the Western model, making the samurai's traditional military role obsolete. The samurai were forbidden from carrying their swords in public, a further blow to their status and identity. Section 8. The Last Stand of the Samurai. The Satsuma Rebellion in 1877 was a major event in the decline of the samurai. It was a revolt against the Meiji government, led by Saigo Takamori. Saigo was a respected samurai who had played a key role in the Meiji restoration. However, he disagreed with the government's reforms. He believed that the samurai still had an important role to play in Japanese society. The rebellion culminated in the Battle of Shiroyama. A small force of samurai, outnumbered and outgunned, made a final stand against the modern Meiji army. The samurai fought bravely, but they were ultimately defeated. Saigo, unwilling to surrender, committed seppuku on the battlefield. The Satsuma Rebellion marked the end of an era. It was the last major armed uprising of the samurai class. Section 9. The Samurai Legacy. The samurai no longer exist as a separate social class. However, their legacy continues to fascinate people around the world. The samurai have left a permanent mark on Japanese culture, values, and aesthetics. Stories of their bravery, discipline, and loyalty continue to inspire artists, writers, and filmmakers. The Bushido code, though no longer practiced in its entirety, still influences Japanese values such as honor, respect, and the pursuit of excellence. The samurai's emphasis on martial arts has also had a lasting impact. Traditional Japanese martial arts such as kendo and aikido are still practiced worldwide. These arts emphasize discipline, self-control, and the development of both physical and mental strength. The samurai may be gone, but their spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of many. Their story reminds us of a time when honor and loyalty were paramount, and warriors were defined by their courage and their unwavering commitment to their ideals. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.